top to bottom, inside and out. Come see them today. We have got a great selection of these new Traverses ready for you to take home. And also, we got great discounts on our Silverado trucks. We got the regular cab, crew cab, double cabs, discounted up to $9,000 off. Great selection, Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville, right on I-40.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
I need some real talk. Oh, I need some real talk. Give me some of that real talk.
Today's Real Talk, the show about North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate, back again another week. The 4th of July week. Independence Day. Do you say Independence Day or 4th of July?
I think
Or
it's
Happy
the 4th
Birthday,
of
America.
July.
Which one? Which three do you say?
Happy birthday, America.
America?
Yeah.
Okay, celebrating, this is what, 7th or 8th Independence Day for you as a United States citizen?
It's going to be, as a citizen, I think number 5 or 6.
5 or 6, and you've been here for 10 years?
Yes.
Okay.
So as a resident,
I don't even know what the
a
official, you
citizen.
tell me. Yeah, you're just a
so
citizen.
you begin
You're
as
American.
a temporary resident for like 2 years, then you prove you were actually married for real, and then you get the permanent, and then the citizenship.
Okay, how many Lake Norman 4th of Julys has it been for you?
Quite a few, because my in-laws used to live in the peninsula. They had a boat, so we used to go, on the lake every 4th of July.
Peninsula
so we would
Club?
be the yacht club,
For the festivities.
for the festivities, and then get the boat to see the fireworks.
Well, Cornelius and Peninsula Club this year not doing the fireworks on the 4th because of the golf course renovations.
Oh,
First time
yes.
for me in probably 20 years, something like that for sure. And had a great time at Symphony in the Park in Cornelius, though. There's a lot of stuff going on in the community.
Mhm.
There's a lot of things to do around here.
Yeah.
What are you doing for 4th of July?
We are actually staying home because I'm very lucky. I am on the golf course, and the fireworks for Northstone are in my backyard, so I don't have to do anything.
Party at Claudia's.
I
That's what's
just
happening.
come to my house. If you know where I live,
Just show up.
Just show up.
Well, I might show up to Whispering Oaks Drive in
I think I
Cornelius.
just made a
might do
mistake. I
that.
shouldn't have said. I'm
no.
joking. Don't show up. Don't show up.
You've got a guest here that's going to join us in the studio. Grandfather Homes is here. He's
Yes.
building some beautiful units. I'm looking at one right now in the MLS on Lake Norman, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So we will talk with Missy, who's here from
Yes.
Grandfather Homes a little bit
Yes.
later. More or less, you already you can't. Well, you can change it if you want to. I'm not going to tell you you can't do that. You already submitted last week this week's answer. Do you stand by that you submitted?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
More or less being the segment where 500,000 or less in the MLS coming soon or active by county. Is it more or less units than the week before? And
More.
you're saying more.
More.
Do you remember what the number was last
Of
week?
course not. Do you?
I
Did you
wrote it
write
down, but I lost the sticky note, so I don't know what the baseline was. But I think we're within a margin of error still. I can say
I
that. I'll give
guess.
you. This is my first time giving you a hint on this, by the way, too. So.
Was it like 12:30? I don't know why
Whoa,
I
whoa,
have.
whoa, whoa. What are you making up such big numbers for? Remember, Mecklenburg County is 1.1 million. We're talking about active and coming soon under 500,000. And the funny
Yes.
part is, we haven't breached 2,000 in a week,
Yeah,
have we?
you said something about 2,000 last week. I'm like, no, it's 1,200-ish.
I was way off. Yeah, something like
Yes,
that. I think it
yeah.
was closer to 1,400.
Was it?
See,
Is it?
And here's the problem with housing
it
supply. We're
now?
arguing over a couple hundred units being on the marketplace.
Yes.
Okay, new construction queen. Is there a bunch of new units about to hit the marketplace anytime soon?
I don't think so. I think, they are releasing as they come. It's a steady little thing coming on the market, nothing crazy. And I don't expect, especially under 500, steady, slowly coming to the market.
So it's not going to be an overnight fix, is what you're saying?
No. Oh, no. And I think more this week, way less next week because of the holiday.
Oh, like the
And
lag
then a
effect of
boom
the week.
after, yes. I think a bunch of houses will hit the market.
And then back to school,
right
we got to
after.
sell, we got to sell,
Yes.
fire sale, fire
And-
sale.
Yes. And one listing by myself.
Oh.
Yes. Because I was trying to figure it out. We're taking pictures tomorrow. And I started to talking to some friends of mine. Should I just list July 5th, July 4th? My clients are out of town. Should I do it now? And everybody's like, no, don't do it. I have one. I'm going to wait. So I'm going to wait.
Okay, so the listing occurs after the listing agency paperwork, including the representation, which includes
Everything.
commission toward potentially offering to the other
yes.
side of the firm. You
Yes.
had a seller say that they did not want to offer commission to
Only
a buyer's
one.
agent.
Only one.
Is there an update that you can provide in that at all, or no? Is it too soon to
I'm
tell?
actually
Still-
going back to the house tonight. But this is not in a hurry. It's just because I gave him some homework. And he wants me to take a look because he's going on vacation. So he wants me to see if he did a good job, and we'll talk again. See if he understands. I've tried to make him see the good and the bad, and it's his decision. But I will try to talk to him again and see. But the other one I'm talking about, because this one goes on the market probably at the end of the month, but the one I'm talking about next weekend after the holiday, they're good. They said it's fine. We understand how it works. We understand the benefit of offering a buyer agent commission. Go for it.
So there's hope for buyers agents. Are there hope for buyers? Quoting you from last week.
Send me an offer.
Well, as far as the rest of your buyers in the marketplace, last week, your words quoting you, utterly brutal for buyers. I'm just making that up, but it was something like that as far as I remember. But this week, the market any better for buyers out there?
I think so. It's a kind of a weird, it's been a weird week, I guess. I would say it's still a seller's market, but not always. So I think some buyers are getting, I just got an amazing deal for clients of mine, house on the market for, I'm not going to say much, but it was pretty awesome.
Okay, so there is hope out there for buyers then, basically.
Yes.
Okay,
maintenance. But again, as I say, the right agent matters. You have to know who you're hiring.
Well, I thought that was an assumption. I'm sorry. I thought you had to find someone who's quality in the marketplace. That I thought was the default answer.
Well, but many people get seduced by the media, by cute Instagram, and they don't check. I always say, check with your friends, family members. Did you use this person? Were you happy? Did they do everything and more? People go just for the marketing thing, which is important. Don't get me wrong, but the right agent matters.
Wise words. What about Maintenance Monday? Are you going to have some wise words for us today?
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna
Fire hazard Monday.
Look, even though it's a liability, it's the most expensive asset you're going to buy.
Yes.
And I say that because it's your primary residence, likely.
True.
But you got to take care of it.
Yes.
You got to take care of it, because if you want the value to continue to grow in the marketplace, like the natural market does, you got to keep up with the quality of the home. And you got to have a quality home.
We are going to talk about, fire hazard today. But this morning I had people in my house. I had 3 people coming and trimming some of the trees that were too close or kind of touching my house. Nope.
Uh-oh.
So they spent some time. I hope Kevin is not listening because he doesn't know that. But I was trimming. I had the guys trimming some.
Are you out there like with a whip, like get to work? Is that how your style out there too?
With a laser thing here, yes.
Directing.
Yes.
Nice.
But that's it.
Well, you got to direct transactions.
You have to take care of your house. You have to take care of your house.
You've also got to direct transactions. You got to help people get the best situation. Overall, give me a happy story from last week that you had, because it was last Monday. We talked about give me something happy.
I think this one, I can't give numbers. You know how it is. If people don't understand, we never talk about how much, if you're listing, you don't know, you never tell how much you're selling for in theory because you're under contract. The same thing with the buyers. But I got an amazing house under contract for my buyers with an amazing offer that I could not believe. I said, let's go for the jugular, and we got it. Well, because I had talked to the agent. The relationship, you have to understand, the agent you hire and the relationship we have with the other agents, extremely important.
In this industry, to use the word relationship is already impressive enough, and that's what it really takes to get a deal done these days. Yeah. Missy from Grandfather Homes is going to join us next. Grandfatherhomes.com. Whispering Oaks is the street. We're going to talk about this beauty of a unit going on out here. It's going to be back active soon, hopefully on the marketplace, probably for a very happy buyer, because this thing is just absolutely amazing. Maintenance Monday, also more or less. She's already locked in her answer. Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate. Justin Ckezepis coming back.
Yeah. I'm ready to jump in.
Yeah,
it's hard for me to.
With Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis will return after this short break on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, kicking off the week of the 4th on a bit of a cooler note for a change. That's nice, huh? Getting away from those mid-90s for a couple of days. Mostly sunny mid-80s on the way this afternoon, and we'll drop it back into the mid and upper 60s overnight. Into our Tuesday, pretty much a carbon copy. We'll get a little closer to 90 by Wednesday. Mid-90s, though, return just in time for the 4th of July, mainly dry. That's your forecast. From the WSIC Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses like Serenity Now Massage Therapy.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Wednesday, July 3rd marks the annual Field of Flags Summer Celebration at Lowe's YMCA in Mooresville. This awe-inspiring event will have live music by Inspire, over 800 American flags, food trucks, and fireworks. The flags will be on display July 2nd through the 5th. On July 3rd, the Mooresville Lake Norman Exchange Club Field of Flags ceremony will be at 6 p.m. The Inspire concert, powered by Waves Entertainment, will begin at 7, with the fireworks spectacular brought to you by Randy Marion beginning at dark. We will see you on July 3rd at Lowe's YMCA in Mooresville for the Field of Flags Summer Celebration. Birkdale's Live Under the Oaks concert series continues on Friday. The Brett Milstead performance begins at 6 p.m. Kick back and relax on the green in front of the stage at Birkdale Village in Huntersville for the free Brett Milstead show on Friday night. On Saturday, the Mooresville Festival of Food Trucks offers 17 trucks from around the area and live music from local favorite unknown artists. Trucks will be located on both Broad and Main Streets from 5 to 8:30 p.m. Bring your chairs and friends to stroll, shop, and enjoy gourmet fare this Saturday in the downtown Mooresville Social District. The Kane Center for the Arts Week 4 of summer camps begins Monday, July 8th. Morning and afternoon camps for ages 5 to 15 include ceramics, drawing, art, food, painting, and more. The fall performance season begins Saturday, September 7th with a show by comedian Tom Cotter. For more information on summer camp programs and the fall performance schedule, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. The Cookout Summer Shootout Series fills your need for speed each week at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The 10-race series Night 7 is on Tuesday, July 9th. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for tickets, details, and information. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
We're back with more of today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk show focused on North Carolina real estate. Claudia Ogrizek, Justin Ckezepis hanging out with Missy of Grandfather Homes now. And I've got this video. We've got this video, I believe, ready to rock and roll here. Can we start with this? Sorry, Claudia, I don't mean to be rude. This is your video, right?
This is mine. I took it last week, and Missy was just telling us that now they already have sod, and it's, it already better than it was last week when I filmed it.
Okay, and you can check out on grandfatherhomes.com. There's some great materials on there, too, to be able to see videos and things like that. Check it out there. And then this video that Claudia shot. Let's go ahead and roll it. Claudia, good choice of music, so trendy. Look at this. This is a beautiful home right here. I mean, this is all of custom craftsmanship, no doubt. Beautifully on the lake, on the water property here. There is a pool. It looks absolutely beautiful. Look at that 2-story great room. It looks like beautiful glass. Wow, picturesque views to say the least about it. Hey, Mom, how you doing over there? Yeah, that's pretty good. So sod being added here on the side yard now too. After some of the landscaping
finishes. So you already have
sod.
What else that you have?
Yeah, so landscaping started last week. We have punch work going on. It's just absolutely insane. It's actually 300 feet of water frontage. So the views are just incredible.
Phenomenal.
So we're really excited about it.
Do you have the whole kind of west?
Yep. Yeah, and it
and-
includes that nice sandy beach. And I'm sure you're aware because you're big on Lake Norman, but you can't add beaches in Lake Norman. So you really want to have one that's grandfathered in. But yeah, it's beautiful. And since the video was taken, we also had new sand come in and it's refreshed. And it's an insane property.
As I told
we're
you,
so excited.
the guys were beginning to put sod on the other side of the house when I was there.
So Claudia creepily came onto the property and decided to join them and just watch and observe the wonderful
Yes.
real
Yeah,
estate that's
you didn't
getting
want to help
built.
and lend a hand? I'm sure we could have used
They
an
tried
extra
to
set of
block me.
hands.
I'm like, no, thank you.
18,000 Whispering Oaks in Cornelius is the address of this beauty. And Grandfather Homes, Missy joining us right now. Thank you so much for being here, by the way.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
So can you give us a little bit of history about Grandfather Homes? Tell us just a little bit about the company, the origin story, if you would, and
Yeah.
because you guys are doing some phenomenal things.
Thank you. Yeah, well, we started out as a one-man show in 2006. Matt Ewers started the company. And since then, we've just grown immensely. As the Charlotte real estate market has grown, we've been fortunate enough to kind of follow that growth. So now we're a company of 12. So we're still kind of small but mighty. We build 15 homes a year. Average price point is $4 million, and we go up to $8 million.
Wow. So that's a very niche sector of the business. Is a lot of the time spent with the customer discussing the floor plan, or do you guys typically build and then go to market first? Is that more?
We
of the
have
model?
a couple of different ways that we do things, right? We try to split our business up into thirds. The first thirds is full custom projects. So maybe Claudia has a buyer that has a lot on Lake Norman or in Charlotte, and they come to us and say, hey, we want to design a home, or we want to work with a local architect to tweak a plan and go from there. We can definitely do that. We have our own neighborhoods in which we can sell lots as full custom builds, once again, designing homes or just tweaking floor plans depending on the level of customization that you want. And then lastly, we do our signature home series, which some builders might call this a spec home, but we call it a signature home. And the reason being is that is anytime you come into the build process, you get to choose the selection. So say we haven't broken ground yet, you can run wild with everything. Say we're in the framing stage, okay, maybe the cabinets have been picked out, but you get to choose, paint colors and tile and countertops and all that good stuff. So it's a very custom process, but we kind of let the buyer jump in wherever we are.
And so when you get into this process and this relationship with somebody, because this is a bit more than the average transaction, right?
Sure.
So for y'all, what would you say is your most fun part about working with people in this process?
Oh, gosh, that's so tough. Because you hit the nail on the head. There's some folks that I work with for 3-4 years, depending. The design process can greatly vary. Sometimes people walk in and they know exactly what they want in a home. They've owned several homes. Maybe they've even built a home before, so they can, really nail it down. I've hand sketched a floor plan. And I just want to tweak these things.
This is a first meeting, by the way.
Yeah, right. Or, say I'm coming from, Denver, Colorado, and I built my house there and I love my plan and I only want to change these few things, or I only want to make sure I have lake views out of these extra rooms or something like that. Some people really do have a lot of the work done on the front end if they know what they want. And then others come in and say, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. It's my first building experience. It's my first designing experience. Like, let's sit down and let's talk about how I live and what my lifestyle is. And then I want the architect to figure out what that floor plan is that's best for me. So the design process, it can take, as little as 3 or 4 months. Say you're pulling a plan we've already done or a plan that an architect already has and just making tweaks, or it could be, a year plus, depending on, your style.
Depending on a lot of things,
depending on
right?
a lot
Because
of
it's
things.
all custom.
The architect's availability. Yeah, how many tweaks, how many changes. And then, of course, you have the construction process. So right now we're looking at about 1 year for anything that's around 4,000 square feet. And then when we get into the 5, 6, 7, 8,000 square feet, it obviously goes out longer. So anywhere from 12 to 18 months for the build process. So we work with folks for quite a long time, and yeah, the relationship is key.
I was looking at MLS right now, looking for grandfather homes, and I saw the two you have on the lake in Denver right now.
Oh yes, yeah.
They are proposed.
So one is halfway through construction, and the next is proposed. So we always keep kind of 1 or 2 in the neighborhood that are signature series homes, and then some lots for custom builds to come in. So there's 3 opportunities in that community. It's the Cape at Matty Rose in Denver. It'll be a gated community. It's incredible water views on all sides. It's like you look around and you just always see water. But yes, so the lot 1, that's halfway through construction.
Okay.
Lot 2 is proposed. So we already have a floor plan designed by Greg Perry Design. He's one of the local architects here in Charlotte. So you can pick that plan and run with it, or because construction hasn't started, if we need to switch things around, we can do that as well.
Because I saw, for instance, one of them, I don't remember by heart right now. I think it's number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Super modern.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, because I have many clients that like modern
Sure.
kind of square, and this
Yeah.
is it.
Right.
This is the proposed.
That's the proposed. Yep.
What happens?
She's putting together a deal on live radio
Oh,
right
great,
now, by the way.
great.
That's what
I love
she's
it.
over here
Let's
doing.
do it.
This is what she does it
I
every
might.
week. This is
Let's
how
do
it
it.
goes.
So that
Just
one
thinking about her clients all the time. My God.
is that, let's say, the look you're going for, or if someone comes and wants the lot, they could, because I know grandfather homes. I'm used to the look of it, and this one is very different. Is it?
Yeah, we do try to push the boundaries a little bit of residential architecture for sure. And especially on Lake Norman, we like to bring kind of fresh things. Like we've had a lot of people say, oh, I see designs, maybe similar to that in Charlotte, but not typically on the lake.
But I can go to AI, right, and I can put in an image and I can get something spit out. So it's not just the wonderful quality you guys are putting together from a design perspective. I imagine the quality of the product itself has to be top notch because there's probably people buying at this price point want those kind of standards as well. What's that like for you? What's y'all's stance on that quality of the product itself you guys build with?
Yes, absolutely. It's funny because Claudia and I, this has been, how many months ago did we try to work on that deal together?
Maybe a year.
Maybe a
away?
year. Yeah. It was funny because she brought in some folks. And anytime you're talking about level of finishes, it's sort of tough because we don't even have a floor plan to talk about yet, right? So it's hard to talk about price per square foot. But I had walked some of her clients through one of our townhouse projects, and it was a good representation of, what I sort of call, I hate to say it, but our base finish level, which is not really a thing because we're not a track builder.
Let me stop her right now. Her base is pretty amazing.
Right,
So
exactly.
Well, it's the starting point of a
super high
conversation. That's
ceilings.
your
Correct.
starting
Yes,
point
yes.
of the conversation.
But the
is what it
start
is.
is way above. Believe me, they start at
Yes,
already
thank
like
you.
a high level, pretty awesome.
Yeah, but it's
beautiful
nice to
homes.
walk people through sort of the start, and then we can have conversations about how to build from there. Like for instance, that home, it had, a walk-in pantry with hardboard shelving, but it didn't have like a secondary scullery with a second kitchen and a, like a caterer's kitchen. Goodness, what else? I don't even
And
recall.
it was the basement. I mean, everything.
Yes, it was a basement. So it was a 3-level home. It's always less expensive to build up than
Was it
out. That's like the first thing they
duets?
teach you in real estate school, right?
A
It was an
duet, right?
attached. Yep, it was
Yeah.
it was a duet home. So that's an attached unit versus single family. So
What's it like right now? Because in a lot of the lots you guys are building on, right? It's a luxury lot, and land is God's not making
Oh,
any
it's a
more right
premium.
now. So
Yeah.
So these days, right now, even in y'all's process in acquiring these lots and looking at, and when you're thinking of subdivisions, what's the level of the conversation for you guys when you even conceptualize? Hey, we want to do another subdivision, right? Like, how could you even start with this market?
Yeah, that's a tough question. Our owner, Matt, handles all of our land acquisition, and it's so fun to watch him and to hear his inspiration and to think about all the times I don't even hear about, what I mean? Yeah, but for instance, most of our lake lots are, anywhere between 1 to 2 million just for the dirt. The lots that are over on that Cape property in Denver, those start at like the 1.5, 2 million mark.
And again, it's an effect of the marketplace. There's heavy demand here. Is the luxury market still a high demand market right now here?
Yes, and yes. And do you agree with me?
Yeah, absolutely. We, obviously we're about to list that 18,000 Whispering Oaks, and that'll be listed at 8 million. So of course, anytime before we list a property, we want to gut check our pricing, right? So we contact other agents that have had similar listings or similar buyer profiles. And there was one, most recently that was listed at 12 million that got multiple offers. It took them a couple weeks to get there, but I think those buyers are still there. It might not happen the day of, like it would happen in Charlotte and Center City, but we're definitely still seeing multiple offers in the luxury market.
And you go to that luxury, I mean, you're talking about in the top less than 1% of the MLS listings, right, as far as sales price goes. That's a particular type of buyer into this marketplace. I would imagine there's almost like a level of privacy and confidence there of a buyer even approaching you guys, if I had to guess.
Correct. Yep. Yeah. And a lot of them are from out of state as well.
And so this area having the demand it has even at that, what's kind of the thought for the future? Is it gloom and doom and the interest rates are going to kill everything and Lake Norman's no more? Or what's your take, Missy, on the future?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, interest rates, they do still matter, right? They matter to people's stock portfolios and their investments and things like that, but they don't matter as far as mortgages to the buyers that we are dealing with.
For this kind of buyer, no, they're not too worried. I'm sure they're not playing with numbers, so they have the money to get the house
and
high expectations of quality. And
yeah, I will say the expectations obviously go higher when the price point goes higher, right? But I think that's what's great about working with a builder that's flexible. Even once we complete a home and we list it for sale, I always tell people, I'm like, let's have a conversation. If it's like, I absolutely love this home, but I can't stand the tile in the master bath, then let's talk about it. Let's talk about how we can change things up. Now, all that's within reason, right? But we are open to customization.
All right, so a couple units a year, grandfather homes, and this, I hope this doesn't offend, but you guys aren't solving the supply crisis right now in the marketplace, and that's okay. You guys serve a niche market,
Sure.
But for the supply, more or less.
more.
Okay, she's going with more. She says it's going to be more this week, 500,000 or less by county, active and coming soon in the local MLS. Canopy MLS here at the local marketplace. Also, Maintenance Monday. We got to take care of these assets, make sure that they go up in value. Is that how that works?
Stay with us. Today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis will be back after these messages on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, kicking off the week of the 4th on a bit of a cooler note for a change. That's nice, huh? Getting away from those mid-90s for a couple of days. Mostly sunny mid-80s on the way this afternoon, and we'll drop it back into the mid and upper 60s overnight. Into our Tuesday, pretty much a carbon copy. We'll get a little closer to 90 by Wednesday. Mid-90s, though, return just in time for the 4th of July, mainly dry. That's your forecast. From the WSIC Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
How would you like to finally lose all those unwanted pounds quickly without spending thousands on painful injections or prescriptions? Hi, it's Donna Simpson, health and wellness expert. You probably know someone that is using Ozempic, the hottest diet craze in the country. Everyone knows about this prescription injection. Celebs use it to look their best. The problem is most of us can't afford Ozempic, and these injections can be so uncomfortable. Now you can lose the weight just as easily, but with no needles, no expensive prices, no side effects, and no worries. You need to try Lozempic, a new miracle weight loss breakthrough that performs so well it's being called nature's Ozempic. Lozempic is an easy-to-take diet pill now available without a prescription, being used by thousands to get rid of those unwanted pounds. So call now and find out how to get a free bottle.
To find out how to get your free bottle of Ozempic, call 800-920-3769, 800-920-3769. Free bottles are limited, so call 800-920-3769. That's 800-920-3769.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Horn Heating and Air Conditioning is looking for HVAC rock stars. If you want to work for a company that values its employees with great pay and benefits, then give Horn Heating and Air Conditioning a try. Horn Heating and Air Conditioning, hornhvac.com.
Hi, this is Bob McIntosh with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Since 1997, we have been committed to providing our clients with competent, caring, and experienced legal services. Learn more at McIntoshLawFirm.com.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Reynolds American, the maker of Camel and Newport brand cigarettes, now putting out Sensa. It's a line of fruit-flavored vaping products intended for adults over age 21. But Sensa e-cigs contain no nicotine. The company likens the product to non-alcoholic beer or decaf coffee. Unclear, though, how regulators will react to these products since they contain no addictive substances. In an effort to ensure the safety of its jets, Boeing has agreed to buy back the airplane parts maker Spirit Aerosystems, which it spun off into a separate company about 2 decades ago. It's all stock deal worth about $4.7 billion. Shares of Boeing up more than 2%, while elsewhere on Wall Street, stocks are higher on this first day of July. The Dow up just a fraction, so is the S&P 500. The Nasdaq up more than 0.5%. And just 2 weeks after winning the NBA championship, ESPN reports the owner of the Boston Celtics is putting the team up for sale. Could be worth more than $5 billion. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
It's today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate, joined today by Missy at Grandfather Homes. What a beautiful property that you guys have going on. Did I say that wrong? You guys just looked at me like I'm out of my mind. No, I got the name right. You both looked at me like I was crazy today. I actually got it right today.
No, because you're talking and I'm thinking about the house and the fact that the sod and everything is there now. So I'm going to have to leave the show.
Oh, gosh.
And immediately
go and see it.
Yeah.
Just stalk you.
I have so many things to do, but I'm going to die. I have to see it. I have to.
It is a beautiful home. 18,000 Whispering Oaks in Cornelius, basically at the end of Nance Road. And if you know Nance Road in Cornelius, you know it is a very luxury style street at this point.
At this point, yes.
Tear downs have happened and occurred. Is that what happened, Whispering? Was it just a raw lot or was it a
raw
tear down?
lot. Yeah, it was actually a raw lot. Yeah, but we like to think of it as like a crown jewel of the street because it's just absolutely gorgeous.
Absolutely. Setting a new standard on the street, that's for darn sure.
Yeah.
And so talk to us, too, about that, again, luxury, niche, high-quality product. You guys actually have a historic project that Matt and the team have worked on, in essence, and whether personally or in the business. But that's a high level of quality. Can you tell us about the historic project?
Yeah, absolutely. So 3217 Maymont Place. It's the historic Barnhart Kramer estate. It's located in Plaza Midwood, really close to the Charlotte Country Club. So we bought it back, I think it was 2018 or so. And we wanted to do, kind of like a modern floor plan addition because we wanted to leave the original estate floor plan intact. And you can imagine how small, it was built in the 1920s. You can
Sure.
imagine how small that kitchen was and, you know, some of the other kind of living spaces. So instead of tearing out parts of the original home, which by the way would have just been hard in general because it has concrete walls. It was built like a cotton mill would have been built in the
Yeah.
20s, right? So just absolutely insane architecture. We said, hey, instead of ripping out some of the interior walls, they've kept this floor plan the same for, 60 years. We can't be the ones to mess that up, right? Let's add on a 2-story addition, add to the grandeur of the property. And that way we can have an open floor plan, kitchen to great room, big double doors out to a terrace. We actually changed up. There was really cool like Art Deco style fountain in the backyard. We enlarged it 4 times to make a pool. So yeah, so
Oh,
now
nice.
it's nice and big enough to swim in. We added a beautiful outdoor fireplace, and it's so funny because every time people look at the fireplace, they say that was there originally, right? And we're like, no. We added some of the brick details, really intricate brick detail in the back of the home. We added that on the back of that fireplace, and it kind of helps to encapsulate the house too, because it's in the middle of a neighborhood that we built 16 out of the 36 houses in Kramer's Pond. That whole neighborhood sold out. So Claudia will have to look for some resales if you want to be in there. But yeah, the historic Barnhart Kramer estate is just an absolute beautiful property. It's listed for sale at $4.75 million.
I've been to the house, and it's
Of course you have.
of course it's
She's all over.
it's
Yeah,
it's incredible because yes, I love that they kept the original. So when you look at the house, like the front of the house, it's a classic 1920s house, and when you walk in, they kept the floor plan, but they added details, like even the dining room
Oh, the wallpaper
wallpaper.
ceiling. Yeah.
It's like crazy. And as you go to the new part, there's this massive. How tall are the ceilings in the
Oh
kitchen?
gosh, I think
and
they're 22-foot
it's
ceilings.
crazy.
And we
Wow.
actually repurposed the original kitchen is now the scullery.
Yes.
So yeah, a lot
I
of people
was-
love that
yes.
fact. Yeah, it's right behind the new kitchen.
Oh.
I
But yeah,
didn't
that
know it was the original. It's
that
so
was the original
tiny.
kitchen. I know. It's amazing.
Same
You think, I mean, the house was large to begin with, right? I think it was like right under 6,000 square feet originally. And then we added about 1,500 heated square feet. So you think about a house that's, 6,000 square feet with that small of a kitchen. It's pretty incredible.
It is.
Yeah. But the wallpaper ceiling, so there is a local watercolor artist that had a watercolor painting that we just loved. And we said, hey, we scan that and make a wallpaper for the ceiling, and she just loved that idea. So we kind of took off with it.
In a world where the buyers demand customization,
Mm-hmm.
how do you guys maintain a quality, about you guys in the middle of that having to be everywhere and be everything?
Gosh, yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think quality control in general is up to the project manager and the interior designer, because we have clients come in all the time and want to suggest, their own subcontractors or this, that, and the other. And we really do have to vet and interview and, all that good stuff to make sure they're kind of in line because, every one sub is on top of another sub sort of all the time, right?
Yeah.
So they have to work together and kind of mesh with the overall product and craftsmanship.
Is that a fun space to mess with subcontractors right now and play in that area? What's that like
You
for
know
you
what's
guys?
funny is things are starting to loosen up a little bit. I mean, things are still tight, I would say, but I think that we got so used to working in the craziness that now even a little bit of relief feels, kind of nice. Now you have people saying, "Okay, where should I be tomorrow?" And you're like, "Oh, great."
And do you usually work with the same trades?
We have I would say 2 to 3 different subcontractors for each trade, and it really depends on the project. So it depends on the level of finishes, it depends on the location, and then it depends on their availability as well. But we like to keep 2 to 3 for each trade, and that way when we're bidding out a house, we can get multiple bids and kind of go back and forth, and keeps everybody honest.
And I have a question because I was looking on MLS before I came to see what's out there, what you sold, and it makes sense with the 15 houses a year.
Yep.
But I saw one I think built in 2008, smaller kind of craftsman.
Oh yeah, that was back in the day when
So
it was just
super
Matt, right?
cute. It was adorable
Yeah.
anyway. So how did he decide, or what made him move from the cute craftsman to
Yeah.
the luxury?
Well, I think part of that's the market demand, right? I mean, craftsman homes were sort of our bread and butter to start with. Even when I started with the company in 2015, we were still doing quite a bit of craftsman style homes. But we got into relationships with a lot of local architects. Matt started out in architecture school and kind of changed paths and went into construction management, but he still has a passion for architecture and design. So I think he likes to work with the local architects that allow him to also have a say too. Some architects like to do their thing and not get any opinions about it, but Matt's always the one that kind of goes in and makes changes and things like that. So I think that in general, it's evolved with, Matt having more hands in the design, but also the buyers, as the Charlotte market has expanded, kind of demanding a more quality product, unique architecture. You don't want to spend $4 or $5 million on a home and then have the builder build the exact same home right beside you, right? So we try to mix things up and keep expanding.
And one more thing, because I do have buyers and you met, but land acquisition. It's a tongue twister for me.
Yeah.
So you find lots, and I'm guessing you choose to build some of them. Do you have anything in the back burner? Let's say I come with my buyers.
She's hunting for buyers again, by the way.
I see.
I just want you to know. I'm just letting you know.
You gotta watch this
Missy's
one.
smart. Missy's smart. I'm just letting her know.
I'm working here.
Yeah.
So do you have anything if I come back, let's say, with and do you have lots you found, but you're not interested in doing a signature home that you could say, hey, we have this one in Mooresville, this one in Cornelius, this one in Plaza, something.
Yeah. I will say that gets a little tricky because, we don't really buy one-off lots anymore. That's something that, we used to do. And now we're more interested in buying lots that can be subdivided or buying a cluster of lots together, whether that's, 4 homes or 10 homes, whatever it may be. But we do have people all the time reach out to us and say, I have this one lot in Elizabeth or this one lot in Eastover. And then I jump on my leads list and go through all the folks that I've, met with either through realtors or just, leads that have come through our events or our website or our social media. And I kind of scan and I say, okay, so who wants to be in Eastover and who needs to be under 4 million, this, that, and the other. Those lots, as they typically go pretty quickly if it's a reasonable asking price. So that's the one tricky thing. It's not like the days where I had a list that, okay, this month I had 4 lot leads and, by next month I'll be able to send them out.
I know because
it is pretty cutthroat, but
I have my, my repeat clients or investors or people that have the experience and understand the market is not easy anymore.
Right.
And I have the new people that think you can find deals with lots. And I'm like, guys, I love you, but it's not
right.
It's not that easy anymore because any lot has tons of buyers and builders and investors full of cash, and they throw the cash and so it's not that easy to find.
The way I explain it to people, I 100% want you on my lot list, right? I'm gonna put you on there. You might not hear from me for 2 or 3 months, but when I do send you a lot, I'm probably not the only builder they sent this lot to, and you're not the only buyer I'm sending it to. So if you're interested, we got to jump on it, right? But it's nice when people understand that and get serious about.
And if someone, again, if you have a lot, or if you like a regular buyer has a lot or found a lot, you can't build.
Correct. We'll build on their lot. Yep.
Another aspect of the deal, I would imagine, if we're talking about Lake Norman, that buyers want to know about, especially if they're buying waterfront, docks, piers, like you said, beaches and things like that. Is that become part of y'all's vertical and process that y'all will handle the dock process and you'll take on those subs and everything else like that?
Yeah, we handle it all. Yeah. We have this one project manager, we joke, we're like, he's our dock guy, right? Because once you get in with whoever can get that permit approved, we're like, okay, buddy, you call this one. We got to expedite this, right?
It's recognizing the marketplace, though, right? Even that insight and you guys being here. So what's the future? Are you guys just going to build it and dip out, or what's the plan here in Lake Norman for you guys?
The future? Yeah, well, what we have seen, the new trend that we've seen is a lot of people are wanting acreage now, right? So we built a home, I guess it wrapped up last year on Maple Way Drive in Davidson. It was on 4 acres and it backed up to Fisher Farm Park. And we had such great interest in that. We ended up having multiple offers on it. And it was great because we were able to take, one of those other offers and, find another acreage lot for them. And we were like, man, this is great. And it provides people with, all this privacy and the availability, similar to Lake Norman, the availability to do outdoor activities. But these lots aren't waterfront, they're just the activities that you can jump on a 4-wheeler or whatever. So
not a bad activity.
Exactly. Yeah. So once we're back from commercial break, we'll talk a little bit more about our newest community in Denver, North Carolina. It's called Ventosa.
Oh, Ventosa. Looking forward to it. Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate, Justin Ckezepis. Also, more or less has to happen, and Maintenance Monday. Important things.
Stay with us. Today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis will be back after these messages on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, kicking off the week of the 4th on a bit of a cooler note for a change. That's nice, huh? Getting away from those mid-90s for a couple of days. Mostly sunny mid-80s on the way this afternoon, and we'll drop it back into the mid and upper 60s overnight. Into our Tuesday, pretty much a carbon copy. We'll get a little closer to 90 by Wednesday. Mid-90s, though, return just in time for the 4th of July, mainly dry. That's your forecast. From the WSIC Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Wednesday, July 3rd marks the annual Field of Flags Summer Celebration at Lowe's YMCA in Mooresville. This awe-inspiring event will have live music by Inspire, over 800 American flags, food trucks, and fireworks. The flags will be on display July 2nd through the 5th. On July 3rd, the Mooresville Lake Norman Exchange Club Field of Flags ceremony will be at 6 p.m. The Inspire concert, powered by Waves Entertainment, will begin at 7, with the fireworks spectacular brought to you by Randy Marion beginning at dark. We will see you on July 3rd at Lowe's YMCA in Mooresville for the Field of Flags Summer Celebration. Birkdale's Live Under the Oaks concert series continues on Friday. The Brett Milstead performance begins at 6 p.m. Kick back and relax on the green in front of the stage at Birkdale Village in Huntersville for the free Brett Milstead show on Friday night. On Saturday, the Mooresville Festival of Food Trucks offers 17 trucks from around the area and live music from local favorite Unknown Artist. Trucks will be located on both Broad and Main Streets from 5 to 8:30 p.m. Bring your chairs and friends to stroll, shop, and enjoy gourmet fare this Saturday in the downtown Mooresville Social District. The Kane Center for the Arts Week 4 of summer camps begins Monday, July 8th. Morning and afternoon camps for ages 5 to 15 include ceramics, drawing, art, food, painting, and more. The fall performance season begins Saturday, September 7th with a show by comedian Tom Cotter. For more information on summer camp programs and the fall performance schedule, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. The Cookout Summer Shootout Series fills your need for speed each week at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The 10-race series Night 7 is on Tuesday, July 9th. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for tickets, details, and information. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Today's Real Talk continues now. Here are your hosts, Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate. More or less, it's time. We must decide now. Before you take any further action, we must decide. More or less, 500,000 or less by county. We always look at Mecklenburg County. We can also look at any surrounding county that you may be saying, hey, as far as price goes, this might be a better spot these days in the marketplace based on the data. But we must know. Active coming soon, 500,000 or less by county. Is there more or less units on the market than last week?
More.
She says more. And I look at the results, not remembering at all what last week's numbers are, me being able to make it up.
Make it up.
Claudia Ogrizek, you said more,
yes.
500,000 or less in a county with 1.1 million in population. We're looking at less.
No, less of what? Something we don't know?
Than last week, yeah. That's my guess. Because I think the baseline was like 1,400 last week. That's
No.
what was the baseline?
It was, I'm pretty sure 1320. That's
No.
the number I have in mind. It's the number I have in, and I'm sticking to it.
And then you said it's more?
Yes.
Yeah, it's more. You're right.
See?
Then. If 1320 is the real baseline.
I'm pretty
though.
sure it's 1320.
Okay. We'll give it to you. 1390 is the number, Claudia Ogrizek, getting it right. So 1390.
Yeah, it was not near
It wasn't that?
1400, no.
In a county with 1.1 million population, only
not.
1,390 units on the market, active coming soon under 500,000 in a county.
Can you easily check how many houses from 500 to a million in Mecklenburg? It might be more than 13. Then I'm going to say...
Active and coming soon, you want under contract as well?
No, let's do the same.
Okay.
Active and coming soon. 500
Less.
to 1 million.
816.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, well. Okay.
And you
I
probably
thought-
have more than 816 buyers
I thought,
alone.
I
That's-
thought, I thought it would be more for Mecklenburg.
I'm sorry to
honestly.
disappoint you. That's a
Wow.
shame I've brought on my family, and I do apologize for that. Thank you
No.
for playing more or
Living
less
and
this week.
learning.
Well, now
I really
are
thought-
you going to remember the number for next week too? By the way, I'm sorry, I did not mean to yell
1390
at you.
today.
1390.
Okay,
yes.
I will remember. Not.
Because
I'll try.
you know I
I'll
won't.
try.
All right, Maintenance Monday then.
Yes.
This is where we have to take care of the property that we own.
Yes.
And so what is it that you recommend people do?
Because it's been very hot. Even for me, I love summer. I could live summer forever.
Mhm.
But because it's been so hot, I thought of fire. And then it made me think of fire hazard, dryer vents.
Ooh.
Many people don't
sleep on them.
don't ever clean the dryer vents, which is a major fire hazard. So please make sure not only to clean your filters every time you dry your clothes, but to have a professional person clear or clean the dryer vents at least once a year.
You know, I just go outside, stick Mr. Screwdriver in there, and I just get them going around in a circle.
I'm not recommending it,
Mhm.
but what my husband did was to put the leaf blower,
Oh gosh.
like we moved the dryer,
Get it, Kevin.
and I was outside watching. I actually tried to find, because I know I filmed it. I couldn't find it. So much fun, because this was right after we bought the house, and I don't think the sellers the people that used to live there did a great job maintaining the house in general. So we had to do many, many things throughout the first months to kind of keep it up to date. It was insane the amount of lint that came out of that thing.
Some 30-year-old Levi's come flying out of that vent.
And it was crazier because I know where the vent is, and it's pretty, I don't know, maybe if like it's right there. And the amount of lint that was coming out of that thing
It was almost impressive.
insane.
It was almost impressive.
And in many houses, the whole, how do you say, the pipe,
Yeah.
it's pretty long. So I can only imagine how much lint you have. So make sure you do it. Do the leaf blower if you want to have fun, or hire someone to actually do it.
All right. Well, that sounds like a wonderful tip and maintenance Monday for people. So dryer vents, that's the
Yes,
key.
and not only that, you don't have to do it, but I had no idea. My dryer, the belt broke one day, and I had an appliance guy come and open it to do it, and then he showed me inside the dryer, and we clean the filters every time we dry clothes. The amount of lint inside the machine when he opened it to clean it was, and it's a pretty new dryer. And he said that we should all also get an appliance guy to clean the dryer inside the dryer, because the filter only does so much.
Sounds like trying to make
And then he
efficiency.
said, yes. Oh, he says then it should last forever.
Efficiency might be part of the game for Grandfather Homes. Missy, is efficiency and those kind of requests like solar, all the thermal, et cetera, crazy SpaceX
Solar,
type
thermal.
technology, Tesla battery pack, EV, I imagine. Is all that requested and part of the process sometimes?
Yeah, it really depends on the client. It depends on the buyer if they value that. I mean, we definitely put the electric car plugs into every single house for sure. I feel like if you don't have an electric car, we're getting there, right? So that's a standard for sure. But other energy efficiencies, it really just depends. We're building one right now that is incredibly energy efficient. It actually has staggered stud framing.
Okay.
So the insulation can go, all in between and all that. So that was something I had to learn about when they started asking about it. I was like, wow, that's, pretty interesting and pretty cool. But luckily we partnered with an architect that had done something similar. So he was, who we leaned on as far as what to do and where and things like that. But it's actually a lot of upgrading your HVAC system. Obviously insulation is key. And, a lot of times, most of the time we put foam insulation in the roof and then, bat throughout the rest of the house. But a lot of it is also your HVAC system and how efficient that is. And, as Claudia emphasized, maintaining those systems as well.
I'm sure a lot of great quality going into your new neighborhood in Denver. Can you talk to us about the new subdivision?
Yes, thanks for the setup. I appreciate it. Yes, so before we left for commercial, I mentioned that a lot of people have been asking for larger acreage lots, right? They're tired of the grind. In Center City, Charlotte, they don't want to be too far away because they want to be close to the airport. They want to be close to uptown, but just 30 minutes outside uptown, Denver, North Carolina. It's very up and coming. We have a gated community coming soon there. It's Ventosa. So several lots are available. They are 3 to 6 acres, which makes it pretty unlimited what you can do there. That's what I tell people. I'm like, it gives you choices, right? We had folks come and say, I really love playing pickleball. I'd love to have a pickleball court. Well, we can do that here. There's definitely the space. And the other great thing is, since Denver, is so affordable, we're starting in the 2 millions there. So it is an incredible value for what you can get as well.
That's pretty. I mean, I have a question about, acreage.
Yeah.
I know it might sound funny, but it's not, because I have many buyers dreaming about having chickens.
Yeah.
So
I'll have to
people
check the CC&Rs in this.
I know.
This
Are
neighborhood
the
specifically.
CC&Rs ready?
Yeah, we didn't do the development side of this. We purchased the lots after the developer came through, so I'd have to check the CC&Rs on this one. But yeah, I hear a lot of people are joining like chicken co-ops where you don't have to have them on your property, which is I kind of prefer, right? Like, let me go to the farm when I'm ready for a nice farm day and get my eggs, but then leave it at the farm. Right?
I have it. It's crazy. It's a new thing that many people are asking.
Yeah.
They are open to being in a neighborhood because they understand the value of the HOA, CCR, but they're like, could we have chickens? And I'm like, I haven't seen a neighborhood.
Yeah, I'll double check for you and I'll let you know.
Because I do have buyers that,
There's recent
and
case
some
law.
people that have it as a must have. Like, I must have chickens.
That's funny.
It's a material fact right there.
Yes,
Believe it or
it
not.
is a material
Can the
fact.
property allow for
Yeah,
chickens or not?
yeah.
That's a material fact. There's a recent court case, and fairly recently, within the past couple of years, where Norwegian dwarf goats now can be considered house pets and work around CC&Rs. Now, you got to have the goat live inside with you. That's a whole thing, but, that's a workaround. I've been working on the chicken one for a while. I can't find a workaround quite yet, but we're getting there. So
yeah, well, we've built cat condos in houses, and
Oh,
we've built
cat condos.
different things for dogs. It doesn't have as nice of a name as a cat condo, but I'm sure maybe one day,
Dog palace.
yeah,
Like that.
a goat.
Yeah.
I don't know. Goat house,
There you
whatever.
go. Goats on the roof, like in Sylva, North
A
Carolina.
goat
You never
chateau.
know. Yeah.
Yes. I'm trying to think. Now, as a realtor, I have to ask you, well, you are a realtor as well.
Sure. Yes, I am.
Number one, are all your houses on MLS?
So typically once we start construction on a house, or even once we have plans far enough along that we have like a marketing set, a conceptual drawing, that's typically when we list a house. Now, not all of our lots are listed in MLS. We typically list, 1 or 2 lots in the neighborhood, but we don't, blow out MLS with all 8 lots at one time. We kind of slowly kind of list, 1 or 2 and then kind of gut check the market and see what the sales response is, then reevaluate and keep listing as we go along. So I will say not every opportunity is in MLS, but if construction has started, it's definitely in MLS. I have people call me all the time and say, I got to move this summer. What do you have? And I'm like, it's already listed. And it's already under contract.
And I'm not talking about, high-end builders, but there are many builders that don't put stuff on MLS. So how can we help if you're hiding inventory?
There has been times where, like, say we have an investor that doesn't want to pre-sell a property, that we want to get to completion, and I'll have people drive by and say, this house isn't in MLS, and I'll say, that house isn't for sale yet. Right? Because we're not required to put them in MLS until we have the certificate of occupancy when they're listed for sale. So
and then talk about listing, talk about the lawsuit, since we talk about it.
Oh, you want to
pretty
talk about
often.
NAR lawsuit
Of
right
course.
now? Okay.
Do you, as a company, or do you intend to keep paying buyer's commission?
we do, yes. A lot of our leads come from buyer's agents, so that's something we kind of bake into the formula, and we expect people to have. I would never tell someone to ditch their buyer's agents because I can see that they add value. But I think it depends on what you're looking for out of the service, right? Buyer's agents a lot of times will look at me and say, well, what do you want me to do for this? And I'm like, I'm not your client, right? Like, you're servicing the buyer. So, you guys discuss amongst yourselves what you do to earn that fee, right?
It's crazy that I hear it all the time from builders, from attorneys, from lenders, like, your clients, you really help them. Like, what you're doing, and you were there for them. And they're like, some people don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, and even when I'm having consultations with people, I try to make a point to include, the agent in that conversation, like, especially when, like, talking about, like, making selections. Like, say you have someone that's a first time building a home, they haven't made selections before. I say, that's a great thing to lean on Claudia for, as far as when you're ready to resell your home, like, you'll have an opinion on, what they should do where, as far as floor plans and even selections and things like that. So I think it's nice to have an extra set of, qualified hands in the deal. So, yeah.
And Whispering Oaks, because now I'm going to drive there to take a look
Yes,
at
drive straight.
Stalker.
When do you plan on listing it?
We're hoping for, I can't be too specific, but we're hoping for before the end of the month. So maybe the 3rd or 4th week in July.
Okay, so it's going to be July.
It'll be July.
People can buy and be home when school starts.
Well, if anybody writes an offer now, I'm not going to deny it right away.
Ooh,
So,
okay.
If you have anybody that wants to get in, we would definitely consider written offers before formally listing. But yes, in theory, it'll be listed before the end of the month.
Missy, thank you so much for coming. Grandfatherhomes.com. Grandfatherhomes.com. A beautiful quality products. Thank you for doing that in the marketplace. Claudia Ogrizek with Compass Real Estate. Next week, another episode of Today's Real Talk. Don't miss it.
serving you better than ever before. 105.9 100.7 WSIC.